Pull up.
Hello, 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 sweet baby angels and pumpkin heads. It is your girl, Miss Tetra Resinstone. And today, you guys, now I have told y'all that I have many interests and I like tons of different things. One of the things that I really like and have a passion for is actually aviation. I love avionics. I love aviation. I love aircrafts. I love all of that. I also really enjoy true crime, and this marries both of them. Today, we are talking about the tragedy in the French Alps. On March 24th, 2015, Germanwings 9525, a scheduled flight from Barcelona, Spain to Dusseldorf, Germany, took off at 10 a.m. The pilot in command is Captain Patrick, age 34, with 10 years flying and 6,000 flight hours flying the Airbus A320. Today's co-pilot is Andres Lubitz, age 27, 630 hours of flight time. There's 144 passengers and 6 crew members. At 10:27, they reached their cruising altitude of 38,000 feet. It is at this time that the co-pilot encourages the captain to use the restroom, as the captain was unable to relieve himself before the flight took off in Barcelona. Shortly after the captain leaves, First Officer Lubitz changes the altitude selector to 100 feet. The airplane starts its descent. As both engine speed is decreased, seconds later, the first officer selects the highest operational speed on the A320. As the A320 speed starts to increase, so does their descent rate. Between 1,700 feet per minute and 5,000 feet per minute, the aircraft descends towards the ground. At 10:33, the controller asks the flight crew to confirm what cruise level they have been cleared for.
Germanwings, Marcel, please confirm what flight level of cruise for.
There is no response from the cockpit. The next 30 seconds, the controllers will try to contact the flight without any answer from the flight crew. The co-pilot increases the speed again to 323 knots. Around 10:34, the captain tries to re-enter the flight deck. After September 11th, the protocol had changed for entering and exiting the cockpit. In addition to needing a PIN code to enter the door, you needed to be buzzed in from inside the flight deck. First Officer Lubitz ignored the call from the captain. Once again, the speed is increased, 350 knots. Meanwhile, the captain tries to communicate through the intercom to the flight deck. There is no response.
Open the door. Open the door. Open the door, let me in.
The frantic calls go ignored. At this time, many of the passengers are starting to realize that there is a problem. After the failed response to opening the door, the captain grabs the crash axe and attempts to break down the door.
Airbus, the plane's manufacturer, produced this video in 2002 showing how its cockpit security door system works. The door can only be opened from inside by the cockpit crew, or via a keypad from the outside, but the cockpit switch can override any attempt to get in.
Air traffic controllers continue their attempt to reach the crew, as well as surrounding planes flying nearby. Meanwhile, the captain is still trying to get into the cockpit, screaming and banging on the door.
Open the door, let me in.
Terrain. Pull up.
Let me in. Open the door, let me in.
Terrain.
Let me in.
Pull up.
Germanwings Flight 952 crashes into the Massif des Trois Évêches. Passengers and crew are killed instantly. An investigation is opened immediately, and upon finding the flight data recorder and cockpit voice recorder, it is then when they discover what truly transpired leading up to the crash of Germanwings Flight 9525. Now, the heartbreaking part of this all was Lubitz was trying to overcome his depression. He had taken a year and a half off to get help, and he was seeing professionals. And it really brings the question, at what point do you violate that patient privilege? At the end of the day, the doctors did give Lubitz an excuse to no longer fly. They gave him paperwork, and he chose to withhold that from the company. He held that from his colleagues. So no one had any idea that he was struggling with anxiety, depression, psychiatric problems, they list, as well as insomnia, which insomnia can lead to a lot of paranoia and a lot of other, amplifying of the symptoms that he was going through. He was taking medication for all of those illnesses. In addition to losing his vision, all of these things that were going on should have prevented him from ever being in a position to control an Airbus or any plane for that matter. And I think, to trust a client who it's almost hard to trust them with their own life. How can you expect that that person is going to make the right decision and report that information to his employers? Unfortunately, Lubitz did lose his battle with mental health. And though there were some great things as far as trying to get help, you have to stay with the process, find the medications that work for you. It is a process. It's not a one-size-fits-all. Not every therapist is a one-size-fits-all therapist. Not every medication, dosage, prescription, it's not all one-size-fits-all. When I was going through my darkest days, I was very suicidal, and it was a trial and error of finding the right medication that would work and the dosage that would work for me. And I had to get through it. And one thing that helped me get through it was telling myself and reminding myself, sometimes daily, sometimes more than once a day, was never make a permanent decision on temporary feelings. And I would tell myself that, never make a permanent decision on temporary feelings. I knew that we have ebbs and flows, and I knew that this would pass one day, or at least I hoped it would. And I thought of those moments in my life when I was happy. So I was like, well, I knew that I can be happy again. I just have to hold on and wait it out. I know that sucks. I know that's not like, oh, there's a magical pill you take and everything goes away. It's not like that. But I held on. And so I really understand and feel for him, because he was trying to overcome his mental health, and he was trying to feel, normal and feel like he was able to move on from his ailments. And unfortunately, he lost that battle. And I think it's so selfish, awful that he would take 144 innocent passengers and 5 innocent crew members with him. I think that is awful. And there's a bit of sinister there, because this was premeditated. There's notes at his apartment that was found that he planned to do this on this leg of the trip. He planned to do this. And I think what's really heartbreaking about this is the passengers had no idea, because he could have done a nosedive and took them straight down and made it over quick. But he chose to take his time, and it was an 8-minute descent. And many of the passengers near the last 2 minutes of the flight realized what was about to happen. And the screaming intensed, and they really knew what was coming. And that to me is just so heartbreaking. And it's even more cruel. It's bad enough what you did, but to then taunt the passengers and taunt the crew, I think that's heartbreaking. It's truly heartbreaking. Now, some policies did change. Moving forward, it was now mandatory that there was always 2 people in the cockpit at all time. I don't want to scare you guys into flying or be afraid that this is going to happen. It's extremely rare that an air crash actually does occur, and even more rare for the flight crew deliberate act to commit a crime and killing everybody on board. That usually doesn't happen. Although there is I'll leave that for another video. There's some other flight true crimes that if you guys liked this one, I may bring back another true crime story that involves an airplane. I always enjoy learning about different things, and this is really cool because it allows me to talk about aviation, which I really do love, and it also allows me to talk about the true crime and the scary things that go on in our world, you guys. I hope you liked this video. Leave a like. Give me a little comment. If you haven't subscribed, please welcome. Hi, how are ya? To all my other subscribers. Oh my God, thank you guys. I love you so much. And put that little bell on so you never miss an upload from your girl, Miss Tetra Resinstone. Until next time, bye-bye.